right now on 5 on your side at 10.
1 degree shy of a record today in St. Louis, then a break in the high heat and humidity, but it won't last long.
Cut from your car and sold for scrap. The effort right now in Missouri to remove a criminal's profit from catalytic converter thefts. First tonight, caught in the crossfire.
She's a good mom, a good person. Had touched so many lives.
Tonight, a mother's plea to bring an end to the violence. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. Tonight, St. Louis police are still looking for the gunman who shot and killed an innocent bystander outside a gas station in North City. Tonight, the victim's mother is sharing her pain only with our Robert Townsend. And Robert joins us live from outside police headquarters.
Mike, right now, the innocent woman's killer is still somewhere out there. The victim's mom hopes not for long.
It's just too much right now. I don't know what to do.
Marcine Hemphill says for the past few days, she's been overwhelmed with nonstop tears and pain. She cannot believe she's suddenly mourning her 34-year-old daughter, Cherie Hemphill.
She's a loving person. She helped everybody that she could. She touched a lot of hearts.
Hemphill says around 9:30 Sunday night, Cherie dropped her off at her North County home. Her daughter then hopped in her mom's car and drove to this gas station near North Kings Highway and Dr. Martin Luther King Drive.
Putting gas in the car. Innocent bystander.
Police say when they approached the gas station, they spotted someone they believe was firing gunshots. According to a police report, the suspect hopped into a car and backed up in the direction of an officer. The officer fired shots at the car before the suspect sped off.
I hope they catch him. I really do.
Police say an innocent Hemphill got caught in the crossfire. She was shot in her left lung and left arm and died at a hospital.
I don't know why this happened to my baby.
Hemphill's mom has many questions.
Who shot her? Where did the bullet come from?
5 Your Side reached out to St. Louis police for those answers. We also wanted to know about crime in the area. So far, we haven't heard back. We have learned in the 4 neighborhoods that surround the gas station, more than 45 people have been shot this year alone.
When is it going to stop? When? That was my baby, my best friend, my rock.
Hemphill had a 4-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. Now, if you know anything about the shooting, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
And tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a double shooting at another gas station about a half-mile down the road. Police were called about 3 hours ago to the Crown Mart on North Kings Highway and Hodemont Tracks. 2 men were shot. A man in his 30s died. Another was driven to the hospital. No word yet on his condition or what led to the shooting. Well, the sun has finally come down on the longest day of the year. Today was the official first day of summer, and we almost hit a record high. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight, and he's tracking a brief break from the heat, right, Jim?
Yes, we will see that, Mike, even as soon as tomorrow, low 90s, instead of that upper 90 that we had today, 98, and that record high 99 set back in 1988. So that's really that 98 today, 11 degrees higher than the average of 87. Lows tonight, once again in the 70s, 75 last night, and it was 69 is the average for this time of year, but we are still sitting at 89 degrees, and it feels like 92 because of that higher humidity, almost 50% now, and that dew point's climbing up close to 70. At the current time, we are in the 80s in most areas throughout the metro and surrounding counties. And there are some severe storms. Even Kirksville has a warning for some 60-mile-per-hour winds and some hail, and then a watch in effect for Kansas City. Will that ever reach us? Well, I'll have the timing on that and the future cast of future cloud cover and rain coming up in just a bit, Mike.
Jim, thanks. Developing news tonight out of the U.S. Capitol, where just a couple of hours ago, the Senate reached a final agreement on a bipartisan gun control bill.
I'm pleased that for the first time in nearly 30 years, Congress is back on the path to take meaningful action to address gun violence.
I think we have found some areas where there's space for compromise. And we've also found that there are some red lines and no middle ground.
Some say it doesn't do much, but it's a start. The legislation toughens background checks for buyers under the age of 21, tightens bans on guns for convicted domestic abusers, and provides funding for school safety improvements and mental health initiatives. A final vote is expected by week's end and comes just weeks after mass shootings in Uvalde, Texas, and Buffalo, New York. Developing tonight in Lincoln County, police investigating a murder-suicide in Moscow Mills. Officers were called to a home this afternoon on Santa Cruz Drive for a suicidal man. When police arrived, they found a woman and man dead inside the home. Investigators believe it stemmed from a domestic incident. Tonight, a 3-year-old is on life support after a drive-by shooting in East St. Louis. He was shot along with an 11-year-old on Sunday. Our Pepper Baker joins us live from St. Louis Children's Hospital with the heartbreaking details.
Mike, both children were brought here. They're being treated here after a drive-by shooting that happened in East St. Louis Sunday morning. Now, we're told that the 11-year-old will pull through, but the family is holding on to every last bit of hope for the 3-year-old boy.
Those are children. They haven't even begun to live their lives, haven't even had a chance to live their lives, and we need to stop this.
Donna Oliver was sitting on the same bench when she found out about the Sunday morning shooting in East St. Louis that injured 2 children.
When I hear about children getting killed, or hurt in a horrific drive-by shooting, it just pains my heart. It's just really sad.
Police reported 2 victims, an 11-year-old and a 3-year-old, who were shot by a passing car on 15th and Bond Avenue just after midnight. The children were in a car with a woman at the time of the shooting.
Please stop the violence, because too many innocent lives are being lost for such foolishness. And life is too short for foolishness.
Both were taken to Barnes-Jewish St. Louis Children's Hospital. The family told us that the 3-year-old, Joseph Michael Lowe, has severe brain damage from the bullet and is on life support.
We have some compassion for our fellow man, especially our children, because they are our future. You killing our future, what future is there for us to have? We're not going to have a future. If they keep this up, it's just sad.
East St. Louis Police and Illinois State Police are still looking for the person responsible.
You need to own up to what you did. I mean, we just lost some innocent lives. Those babies haven't even had a chance to live. And that's the real sad part about it.
With kids and grandkids of her own, Oliver empathizes with the family.
My prayers are with you strongly and yours, and I can't pray for you enough.
Now, the family said right now the 3-year-old Michael Lowe's mother is deciding when to take her child off of life support, and she is planning to donate his organs once the doctors finish running some tests. We have information on how you can support the family on KSTK.com. Live in St. Louis, Pepper Baker, 5 on your side.
A new effort tonight to curb car break-ins in downtown St. Louis. Just this year, there have been more than 2,000 reports of car break-ins. Now, Crime Stoppers is offering cash rewards for information leading to the arrest of car break-in suspects. Greater St. Louis Inc. donated $10,000 to the pilot program.
With the support of the business community through Crime Stoppers, identify persons who are doing these thefts, we can interrupt that stream and prevent those firearms from going into those different pockets of people who are committing crimes.
The pilot program will focus on the downtown and downtown west neighborhoods. If successful, the goal is to expand to other parts of the city. Well, we're less than 2 weeks away from the 4th of July, and just as we're paying more for just about everything these days, now you can add fireworks to that list. Our Brent Solomon is here with how fireworks customers are getting less bang for their buck.
You're right about it, Mike. A reminder, it is against the law, by the way, to possess or light fireworks in St. Louis unless you have a permit. Outside of the city limits, different localities have different rules. In places where you can buy and use them, some customers may be in for a bit of a surprise.
An empty tent and tons of boxes to be unloaded. So why not keep it all in the family?
The stink bombs. I love these. I'm glad we got those this year.
You're looking at the Barnetts. They've operated the President Fireworks Stand in St. Charles for 19 years now. Mom keeps everyone in line.
You can't sell anything with a stick, a missile, a wing, anything that goes up in the air and the stuff comes back down in people's yards.
And since the rules fluctuate depending on the locality, it's up to local businesses to know what can fly.
A lot of injuries are caused by bottle rockets. We do have a sign that says when you can legally shoot in the city.
On top of that, customers will be greeted with something else, the potential of sticker shock. That's because local businesses are paying more.
Last year they went up 40%. This year they went up another 25%.
So if you want it, you'll have to pay. Mom says you can thank the suppliers for that.
The freight is so high. 2 years ago, they paid maybe $5,000 to bring a container into the United States. This year, it was $30,000.
But that didn't stop customers last year.
So we literally sold out like on the 3rd of July last year?
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
And because business requires you to thrive, they're braving the heat to get the stand up and running.
We're selling fun.
Just as long as the boys can keep that in mind.
17, 18 pages of rules to a fireworks stand.
Everything will be A-OK.
That way we get to stay open every year.
And come back. All right. The Department of Public Safety recommends going to a public fireworks display. But if you're going to do them at home and if it's legal to do so, the department says only light fireworks one at a time. Also, have a garden hose or a bucket of water nearby just in case of a fire.
And again, a reminder, fireworks are illegal to buy and set off in St. Louis City and County. St. Charles County allows them between the hours of 10 a.m. and 11 p.m. from July 2nd to July 5th. They're also allowed in Jefferson County, but some local cities have different rules.
It's the one part crooks want from your car.
You get caught with a car full of catalytic converters, nothing might happen to you.
Tonight, the I-Team looks into a new push in Missouri to scrap this crime. Scouts dishonor. A Girl Scout imposter scamming people out of cash and cookies. The search for the ringleader.
Hot and humid today, close to a record, but what about some much needed rain? I'll time out those slim chances coming up.
Well, our team has been covering this problem for years. Record numbers of catalytic converters stolen from cars. So what's being done about it? Investigative reporter Paula Vassan looks into legislation in the works that could do something to hold the industry accountable.
Thieves have it down to a science. Someone parks, goes underneath this red car, and does the cutting. In under a minute, he's back on the road with a stolen catalytic converter. The device helps with emissions. It contains valuable metals that can be melted down and sold for thousands of dollars. Around the country, these thefts have jumped more than 1,200% since 2019.
If you get caught with a car full of drugs, you're going to jail for a long time. If you get caught with a car full of catalytic converters, nothing might happen to you.
At Fairway Automotive, an auto shop in Crestwood, owner Jason Gallahue says he's replacing at least 3 catalytic converters a week, a record high.
I mean, yeah, it can happen to anyone.
And anywhere. This is from police in Phoenix. They recently arrested a man after a sting operation that led them to about 1,300 converters. Value? Nearly $200,000. Phoenix police tell the I-Team they made the arrest only because of a new state law, allowing them to arrest someone if they have a used, detached catalytic converter. The exception, if they're a licensed business. This year alone, 150 catalytic converter bills have been introduced, 15 in Missouri and Illinois. 19 states, including Illinois, have passed legislation. Much of it enforces harsher penalties on people who steal and limits where people can sell. Lawmakers tell us it's too soon to tell how it's working, but it's a step in the right direction. And State Representative Don Mayhew wants Missouri to follow.
Do you think this legislation, if it's passed, is going to be the solution?
But it will help put some accountability into the system, because right now there are none.
Mayhew's legislation would force buyers to collect the make, model, and serial number of the car a catalytic converter came from. The law would also require sellers to sign a legal document saying it wasn't stolen, and would make it easier for police to get search warrants.
We've tried it 2 years in a row. We got to a Senate hearing this time, which is a big step. We expect it to go farther next year, and perhaps we can get it passed next year.
Right now, Mayhew says he plans to include parts of Arizona's recent law as he tries to get a new Missouri law passed. He says the only person who testified against his bill was a lobbyist representing salvage yards in our area. We reached out to that lobbyist to find out what he and salvage yards believe needs to change to prevent this crime. We'll let you know what we hear back. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
And just a few days ago, a Southwest Missouri man pled guilty to a scheme involving tens of thousands of stolen catalytic converters across state lines. Lawmakers say this will continue unless we have stricter laws preventing this crime. Tonight, police in New York are looking for a young girl accused of running a Girl Scout cookie scam. Several people report that the girl came to their door taking cookie orders, but asked for the cash up front. Months have gone by and they still don't have their cookies. Police are looking for the girl and the man several victims say stood at the end of their driveways.
It wasn't the money, it's the principle of it, of what this gentleman's teaching his daughter, how to scam people at such a young age. I'm not worried about the cookies or the money, it's just what's happening to that little girl.
The Girl Scouts say they're working with police. They're willing to provide cookies to anyone who placed a bogus order. A stinky scene in mid-Missouri. Hundreds of dead fish have floated to the top of a pond in a dog park in Columbia. Conservation officials are calling it a natural fish kill. The culprit, the extreme heat and little to no rain. So let's turn to Jim now for more on this heat and when it might relent just a bit.
Yeah, so how about low 90s the next couple of days? It's better, yeah, because 98 today, shy of that record by 1 degree. 99 was the record. 89 still at this hour. Here's a look at downtown St. Louis, the arch there. Camera shaking a little bit. There's a south-southwest wind at about 10 miles an hour at the surface. And by the way, that camera is up on the 37th floor of a building, so it's up there a little bit. So maybe a little stronger wind at the top, but not too bad. 92 is what it feels like right now with that humidity near 50%. Dew point has climbed close to 70, and that's when you really feel it. You step outside, you can feel that humidity. So lows tonight in the 70s. 77 in St. Louis, so close to 80. Wouldn't be surprised if a few spots stay around 80 degrees in the morning hours. 72 for Sullivan, 74 in St. Charles. And yes, like Mike was talking about, it is extremely dry. So June rainfall so far, 1.31 inches, almost 2 inches below normal for the month. And we're not expecting a lot of rain over the next few days here as we end June. 2022 so far, 20.64 inches and almost a half an inch below for the year. And we haven't been there in a while. In fact, it's been pretty wet at the beginning of the year and into spring. And now we have a front right here. But guess what? This high pressure right over really just south and east of us, centered south and east of us, is so strong it will break apart the storms that are just north and west of us right now. So there's a severe thunderstorm watch around Kansas City until midnight, and even a warning around the Kirksville area. So a couple storms, in fact, a big line of storms just to the north of us right now. A lot of lightning with that. Wind gusts right through Kansas City now. These are warnings going right through the city. 60-mile-per-hour winds and some large hail. We'll zoom in a little bit there to show you. So our friends and family, look at this big cluster, Lawrence to Leavenworth, and moving right into the Kansas City metro area. And then for Kirksville, there it is, that severe cell that is weakening a little bit. And then that's exactly what the future models are showing. In fact, the future cast showing that rain just to the north and west of us. Watch as it tries to move in, and it really doesn't happen. So maybe a spot shower or storm in portions of the area in the morning hours or afternoon, but most of us will stay dry. All right, in terms of that break in the heat, 93 tomorrow, 91 on Thursday, but Thursday is less humid. Then on Friday, it gets more humid again, 93. Saturday, 99, the heat indices near 106. But by Sunday, 88, 85 on Monday, and Mike, 82, 88 on Tuesday. So it's less humid here, which is going to make it feel really nice.
All right, Jim, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, Nolan Gorman displayed some Herculean power. We have a basketball player in town about to go in the first round of the NBA draft and a golfer playing in the U.S. Senior Open. Stick around, please.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
We could talk many aspects of this game with the Brewers, but in the end, the takeaway is 2 words: Nolan Gorman. This is not just a good game. This is likely the beginning of a completely dynamic career. 88-year-old Bob Uecker still calling games for the Brewers. Amazing. I sure wish this next pitch was just a bit outside. Instead, it caught the center of the plate, and Willie Adames parked it 2-2 in the first. Jack Flaherty lasted 3 innings, and then he looked at some video of his performance. 4th inning, and this is a magnificent display of power by Gorman, 428 feet to dead center field. 7th inning now, he clobbers it again. Get this, his first homer under 400 feet, it went 396, Cards up 4-2. And then he was just showing off in the 8th inning with an RBI single. He had 4 hits and 4 RBIs. Cardinals lead it 6-2 in the 9th inning. The first round of All-Star voting has been released, and there are a number of Cardinals in good positions. Goldie is leading at first base by a nice margin. Arenado is in second behind Manny Machado at third base. Tommy Edman is in fourth at shortstop, and even Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina are currently in third as they try to top off their careers as All-Stars. You can vote online through June 30th. Awards night in the NHL. Austin Matthews won the HART as the MVP, well-deserved with his league-leading 60 goals. Cale Makar won the Norris for Best Defenseman, and Igor Shesterkin won the Vezina for Best Goaltender. Hey, Thursday will be a big day for basketball in Belleville, Illinois. Former Belleville West and Ohio State star E.J. Liddell is expecting to hear his name called in the NBA draft. It's a dream come true for the local kid, but he wouldn't have believed it if you had told a 10-year-old EJ shooting hoops in the driveway that he would end up in the NBA.
Get out of here, honestly, because I was younger, I was a heavier set kid. I could never see myself dunking, honestly. I always looked at the rim like, man, that's super high, just watching highlights of people dunking and whatnot, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I tried out tons and tons of different sports, but if I was to hear that back in the day, I'd be like, there's no way.
We'll be live with EJ Thursday night. The Senior U.S. Open will take place this weekend in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. You can see it all here on 5 on Your Side. A lot of golfing legends will be competing, and St. Louis will be represented. Yes, the pride of John Burroughs. Jay Williamson qualified for the event. This 55-year-old golfer is amazing. Remember, in college, he played baseball and hockey, no golf. Keep in mind, he went to tour qualifying school 5 times and made the regular tour for 5 years. We spoke today before his practice round.
Well, first of all, I know that I'm getting older, so it's definitely something that I have to kind of kick myself and appreciate. And yeah, I'm proud that I was able to qualify, and this gives me an opportunity to have another flag in my basement of a tournament where I've played, which is, kind of a personal thing that I do. I'm just really enjoying the experience so far, and I hope that Sunday afternoon I can keep saying the same thing.
Good luck to Jay. Hey, Brooks Koepka is joining the LIV Tour. The 4-time major championship winner is believed to be receiving somewhere between $100 and $150 million guaranteed. Koepka is ranked 16th in the world, and the rumor is there could be more stars moving to the LIV Tour. Mike?
Hey, Frank, before you go, you were talking about E.J. Liddell going to the NBA draft. How high might he go?
Well, I think he's going to go somewhere between 15 and 22. He's one of these guys that's a little small for being a 4-man, but he's got this great body. He blocks shots, and he also has really developed his 3-point range. He's going to have a nice 10-year career in the league because coaches love this kind of kid. It's just a great work ethic.
And didn't he go back to school to work on that jump shot?
Exactly. So a lot of guys get out too early. He stayed just the right amount at Ohio State. He's ready to be an NBA player right now.
All right, Frank, thanks very much. Well, it's finger licking good. The new way KFC is letting you eat with your fingers. The annual Folds of Honor campaign, sponsored by Schnucks, is now underway. From now until July 4th, you can round up at the register. The money raised provides scholarships for spouses and children of fallen and wounded service members. 5 on Your Side is a proud partner of the campaign. Well, you'll soon be able to share an Uber. The option to be paired up with another rider was scrapped during the pandemic, but Uber X Share will be offered in 9 cities. Not St. Louis, not yet. Uber does plan to expand it to other markets later this summer. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is pulling into town tomorrow. It will be at the National Museum of Transportation in Kirkwood. 27-foot-long hot dog-shaped car will also make stops in Pacific, O'Fallon, Illinois, and St. Louis City this week. We have more information at KSDK.com. KFC says its food is finger-licking good. Now the fast food chain is offering finger sporks. Yep. The utensil slides right onto your finger for a limited time. KFC will give you 2 free ones when you order a Sides Lovers meal. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. And Jimmy's guest tonight, Kim Kardashian and Paris Jackson. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That's beginning at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.